Content warning. This is a horror game and not intended for all audience. Please visit our website if you need a specific list of content warnings. This also contains flickering image effects as well as a parallax effect that on rare occasions causes motion sickness in players. If either of these effects cause health issues, you can disable them in game's preferences. Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Mechamac, this is Let's Play Slay the Princess. In the last episode, I tried to find a way through the cage, and I failed. I'm sure there is a way, it's just not a way that I've considered. But in this episode, we revisit an old route that I haven't seen
if you don't,
recently.
It will be the end of the world.
Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to the end of the world is because she is locked up?
I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Forget it, not doing this.
Serious? No, you have to do it.
Can't someone else do this?
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules.
Look, I'll go and talk to her. If she's as bad as you say, maybe I'll slay her. I'm not committing until I've had a chance to meet her face to face.
I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Another route that I really need to check out is the witch. I have a theory that there's another route tied to her. But I don't know, it's kind of hard to track these down when I just have names to work with.
The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Wait, no, don't take the blade. We're just entering the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Hold on, let's talk a bit first.
Okay.
What's your name?
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
So is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
If I'm the first person you've seen in a while, what have you been eating? Or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Something doesn't add up. It isn't worth the risk to take your word over the potential fate of the world. Retrieve the blade.
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
So, what? You're going to try and kill me? You'll regret this. I promise you. But go ahead, run along and get whatever you're planning to get. But you'd better hope that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has to be bluffing, but hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen. Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
Let's finish this.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her.
I imagine that you can actually jump into the nightmare route if you lock her in here and let her bleed out, but that's not what I want to get this time.
Where is she?
Although we actually do have to get the nightmare at some point because we need we need nightmare because we have to go check in on Earth. We need to get the standard nightmare ending. Close the door.
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
I'll wait.
Do you want to play a waiting game? I've been down here a long, long time. I'm very good at waiting.
You do your best to patiently wait her out, but eventually, exhaustion starts to set in. Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here.
Keep waiting.
You wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers. You barely even realize that you've started to drift off. Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs.
We never get to win.
There's nothing to be done. You're already half gone. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Beast.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
She's gonna kill me again!
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself.
This is him trying to fight our intrusive thoughts, isn't it?
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened, then something else must have trapped us here. You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess.
Turn around and leave.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Damn it. Let's assume I'm telling the truth, all this did happen. Why should I listen to you?
Those are two very different... Let's say for a moment that you died last time. We did our best with the information we were given, and yet you still died, didn't you? So, great, congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? All the more reason to keep our wits about us, should we even return to the cabin. We could find a safe little hole somewhere instead. You have to go to the cabin. If you don't slay the princess, she's going to end the world, which you're always going to be a part of, even if you're cowering in a hole. There's no escaping your responsibility here.
Can we talk about the princess?
Just be quick about it.
She killed me by ripping me to pieces. Don't get me wrong, I hated it, but... Wait, to quote you from last time, she's just a princess. Why was she able to rip me apart with her bare hands? Wait, no. Yeah.
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin, and you'll be fine.
Okay, that's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You didn't say anything about the mirror.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. What a strange thing to lie about. Maybe he doesn't see it. Much like he hasn't seen what's already happened.
Why would you lie about it? What's the point?
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
Bird symbolism. Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone.
Okay, it's time to make a safety save. So we can come back to this if we do it wrong. Let's just enter the basement without any weapon.
Steel Claw, do you think we can talk our way out of this? I don't think she wants to talk. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her.
That chain doesn't look like it's attached to her anymore.
Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
Even more bird symbolism.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
So, apparently, what we have to do, there's an achievement if you can evade her for quite a bit. Move.
You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her. Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. But you still feel her gaze on you.
On the upside, we have autosaves, so if anything goes wrong, we can always just go back to one of those.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
Every time!
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs. So she's cut off our escape. Shit, what do we do?
We're sent to kill you because you're a threat to the world. I'm starting to believe that's true.
Oh, for the love of... You've given up the game. Great. All that will do is hasten her victory.
So many useless thoughts run through your head. Thinking, thinking, thinking. You'll never hurt me if you keep thinking.
You're deflecting.
And you bear your weakness to the world.
She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble. keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
Survive.
Jungle, barely moving out of the way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen.
What do you want?
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants, just go back for the blade upstairs and slay her. Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful. She's just a princess. Don't overthink it. She is clearly not.
Why do you want to kill me?
Why does anything kill anything else? She needs to.
I didn't say I wanted to kill you.
It sounds like she wants to do something even worse. What she wants only matters if she wins, and you're not going to let that happen. A tickling sensation rises at the base of your neck. Flee. We can't keep doing this.
Stay alive. Okay, if this is a run for the stairs.
Now's our chance. Quick. Right, I agree. We can't do anything without a weapon. We can regroup once we're armed and try to figure out a better plan. Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. All that matters is that we stay alive. As you turn to sprint for the stairs, you feel the air shift. You instinctively glance behind you just in time to see the princess lunge from the shadows, more unhinged and dripping, eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver.
It's a good thing that we have autosaves then. Stay alive.
You're a little slow. Or maybe she's a little faster. You avoid her slavering jaws, but she manages to graze you, her titanic momentum skinning you along your side. It's like being sideswiped by sandpaper. How is she that fast?
You're bleeding now.
You instinctively touch your side, testing her claim. It's wet and stings from the gentle touch of your fingertips. A costly mistake. We can't make it again. We will make it again unless something changes. We have to break the pattern. We need more time. She's cutting off our escape.
Our game is nearing its end.
Okay, fine. Why do you want to eat me?
I don't question who I am or what I want. I simply do. To act is always better than to react. To do is always better than to watch.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you do well to listen to her. Less standing around asking questions, more doing exactly as I say. She's more tense this time. She means this next blow to be the last. The mere thought of moving again makes your bloodied side ache. We're exhausted. We're bleeding. We're still alive. We owe it to ourselves to move.
Again.
Once again, you narrowly avoid the full force of the impact, and once again you are too slow to come away unscathed. You're starting to get tired. You're making mistakes. This isn't working. We have to do something. We have to figure out a plan. Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. All that matters is that we stay alive. We're trying, but we can't keep this up much longer. We have to. We keep up or we die.
You're getting slow.
She seizes the opportunity, lunging once again from too tired. We have to move. It's too late. Before you get the chance to do your best.
Yep, that way goes about as well as you'd expect it to, wouldn't you? Stop hiding and show yourself.
If you want to see me, you should get better at seeing.
She knows that her strength lies in shadows and secrets. A tickling sensation rises at the base of your neck. Flee. We can't keep doing this.
Stay alive.
You're a or maybe it's like being sideswiped.
You're bleeding now.
Too instinctive and costly. We need need.
Our game.
I don't think I can keep this up.
You have to. We at least have to make an opening. She's more tense this time. The mere thought of moving it, we're exhausted, we're still alive.
Let's try playing dead.
We're playing dead. It's unexpected. It could work. As the princess lunges from the shadows once more, you collapse to the ground, feigning death. She lands directly on top of you with her full weight, nearly crushing you into the dirt, but then... silence. Only broken by the sound of your beating heart. It actually worked, didn't it? Only, what do we do to make her leave? Do we just keep playing dead? She sniffs at you, shifting her weight uncomfortably as her face finds yours. Her breaths are hot and oppressive against your skin.
Have you seen my great big eyes? Because they see you, fledgling. They see your heartbeat pulsing in your throat.
Move, now! But it's too late for you to move. I guess that's it. Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time. The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her.
I think this is actually supposed to be the standard ending, which is not what I want, so we're going to backtrack to a previous nonsense. Let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient. Or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Move.
You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air, disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her. Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. But you still feel her gaze on you.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs. So she's cut off our escape. Shit. What do we do?
Stop hiding and show yourself.
If you want to see me, you should get better at seeing.
She knows that her strength lies in shadows and secrets. She won't reveal herself unless she has to.
You're deflecting.
And you bear your weakness to the world.
She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
Wait for her to strike, then hit her back.
This isn't going to work. We're in her domain. We just have to stay alive. If we keep dodging her forever, we're going to get tired. We're going to slip up. We have to take a risk. As the princess lunges from the shadows once more, you tighten her blade and lash out. It strikes, cutting deep, and the princess loses her focus, crying out in pained surprise as she crashes into you. You're sent sprawling, and can already feel the massive bruise blossoming on your ribs as she scrambles back into the darkness. Ha! Look at that! We wounded her. She wounded us. Bad trade.
That hurt. Are you just the cornered animal you seem to be? Or could you be a rival?
She rears back, then leaps at you, more forceful, more ferocious, more serious. The scuffle is brief, and though you inflict a few deep wounds, you find yourself quickly overwhelmed by her savagery. You collapse to the floor, and she wastes no time before pouncing on you in a flurry of claws and blood, your nerves barely able to keep up with the onslaught. By the end, you're lying in a nest of your own intestines, spine severed, blood rapidly draining out onto the jungle floor. The princess, drenched in both her blood and yours, idly prods your body.
No, that's it then. Cornered animal it was. Do better next time. I still need to devour you. And it doesn't count if you're dead.
We're not dead, But you don't have time to protest her premature observation of your death, because everything goes dark, and you die.
I'm gonna need to finagle around with this one as well, because I'm sure that there's an alternate route 3 to the den. I just haven't gotten it yet.
You're on a path in the
Yeah, we are. And this time we're not gonna run until we die. We're taking her head on and we're winning.
I knew you'd be back, stubborn.
You felt her. She didn't have a soft underbelly. She didn't have blind spots. What could we have done that would have saved us from her hunger?
When someone tries to make you dead, you have to hit them back. You have to show them your authority. There's nothing worse than a bully that thinks they own you.
Great. So you've been here before. That doesn't bode well. You're not supposed to have been here before. This is supposed to be one and done.
Oh, shut up. It bodes fine. You're the reason we're stuck in this shit situation. Now I have to do the hard work of dragging us out.
And how do you intend to do that?
We're going to fight her, and we're going to win. There's a reason she slinks around in the shadows.
Well, no complaints here. Now hold on. We're not just gonna let the fact that he knows things about this whole Lupin situation go, are we?
He's not important. He can have his secrets for all I care. She's killed us twice now, and that's enough of a reason for us to want her dead.